From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth. Of course, at Tommy Max, at my bar. We're talking a little entrepreneurship, a little insurance. Farther is here. Heritage Capital Group is here. Of course, both those companies, they sponsor this show. So let's get into it and talk a little business here on The Horse's Mouth. Todd Smith is our first guest from Blue Horizon Enterprises. You're helping entrepreneurs and early stage companies. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I work with startups, early stage, high growth ventures in three different ways. I'll work preparing business plans, financial models, investor presentations.
Okay.
I'll help them raise capital, and then sometimes I'll even step in to like a C-level interim operational role. I'll be the COO or CFO, whatever they need to try to get them from point A to point B and on their way. So it's a lot of fun.
How's the capital outlook been, recently? Like, is there a lot sitting there trying to figure it out? Is there not a lot of powder out there? There's a lot of powder. I think since the pandemic, things have been a little bit slower. I haven't quite seen as much innovation and people taking risks. But hopefully it's slowly starting to build its way back. Yeah, absolutely. It's cyclical, for sure. Great to have you on the show, Todd.
Thank you.
Daniel Gilham is back. Hey, Daniel.
Good to see you.
How are you? From Farther, of course.
Yeah.
Looking good. Last time you didn't have a jacket on, though, I think.
Yeah, I went vest.
Oh, that's right. You had the vest.
Yeah, I was just trying to. I was trying to do the finance bros.
What's the latest, man? What's going on with you?
Same thing. Very similar. Working with business owners, just helping them navigate the different areas of growth. It's a tough market out there when it comes to fundraising, but I think if you're in the right spot, if you have a key differentiating service or product, that there's a ton of money out there that's looking to be deployed.
Right.
I think being positioned and having somebody on your team that can be alongside you to bring that credibility and validate that business model is hugely important.
Absolutely. Great to have you on the show, man. Billy Wagner's here. Hey, Billy.
Hey.
Brightway Insurance out at the beach.
Yes, sir.
How long you been doing that for, Bill?
Started scratch in 2006.
Oh, really?
So it's been a good while.
All right.
Yeah.
Were you always in the insurance field, or how'd you get?
Was in the restaurant business and worked that was my first career out of college, and worked my way all the way up to one step away from the president of that company.
All right.
And then decided I wanted to take the entrepreneurial leap and do it on my own and research that and kind of built that enterprise now, and it's been a really, really cool journey.
What would you say to your younger self? What kind of advice would you give yourself as you look back?
I would have focused a lot more on people and figuring out people and process earlier and really dial that in, because that's when really we scaled, when we figured that piece out.
Right. Cool, man. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Mac Holley's back. Hey, Mac.
How you doing, Tom?
How are you, pal? From Heritage Capital Group. You got to love hearing all this. Entrepreneurship, early stage, we can help. They grow. We help them move on with their life when it's all said and done.
That's exactly right. Once they sort of get beyond the startup stage and you got a good balance sheet under them, we like to, when the owner's ready for an exit, or along the way, help them improve their value. So when time comes to exit, they're ready to go. That's the process we do.
My wife and I are both entrepreneurs and have been for forever, since we've been together. She's got her own fitness boutique, and then I'm in business for myself for the most part. Entrepreneurship, now they teach it in college, which, man, I wish they had that when I was going through school, because I would have taken it. That would have been right up my alley, because it's not easy, right? It's pretty tough, but if you can withstand it, you'll find yourself out on the end that you'll be all right, right?
Yeah,
You agree?
you got to take some risks, and you got to have that risk tolerance. Because I know a lot of people that have a lot of skills, they just don't have that risk tolerance. So you've got to have that. But like you said, you got to get the right people around you and a team. Build yourself a team. It's always, every business plan I write, it's not just about that one entrepreneur. It's about the team and everybody that they bring in, if they're attorneys or their CPAs or their advisors and their advisory team. And that's so important.
It's calculated risk, though, isn't it? Like, you got to mitigate that, like you're saying, have the right team, and then don't be afraid to take the shot.
Yeah, it's interesting. In some of my research, I've found that from a founder or an entrepreneur's perspective, that they don't see it as risk. They see it as control. Like, I've got this, so I have 100% control over whether or not I'm successful. And I'm thinking back to your comment, I don't know that you could teach that in a class.
Right.
I would love to see
Right.
the success of people that did entrepreneur studies versus those who just went out and had the grit and made it happen.
Right.
Who was most successful?
You're kind of born with it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you started yours from scratch, right? Like you went through the ups and downs, and now look at you. Right?
Yeah, and it's a violent contact sport. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough, and you've been punched in the face so many times, but the folks that win it have that grit where they're going to be like, no matter what, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And I think most entrepreneurs, they've understood the value, and they're willing to take bigger risks and think bigger where other people don't. And,
You're right.
I think we're probably living at about 40% of our capacity in most cases.
Yeah. No,
and there's so many
correct.
bigger things we can do if we open our minds to it.
Yeah, absolutely, Mac. I feel the same way, right? I mean, it's you gotta have the grit, and a lot of entrepreneurs they have more losses than wins, but those wins are big, right? You see it probably. You guys see it probably all the time.
You got to keep getting up, and
Yeah.
as Todd said, though, I mean, a lot of people are not cut out.
They're right.
They're afraid. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
I had a 28-year career as a commercial banker. Under
Right.
big banks, infrastructure. It's kind of a safe environment. It's a great place to learn.
Sure.
But when you move over to be an investment banker, it's sort of an eat what you kill model, and you got to be an entrepreneurial spirit. You got to feel confident, and like Daniel says, now you're in control of your own destiny, which is appealing to some and scary to others.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
So,
You're right. Be prepared and don't be afraid.
right.
All right.
Absolutely.
Great words of wisdom from you guys. Appreciate you being here. All right. Thanks so much. Make sure you check out their great profiles, this conversation, and plenty more at iwannabuzz.com. Never be afraid to take your shot. So until next time, y'all be safe and you stay cool, and we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers, Tom.
The team at Heritage Capital Group is special because it's a collection of people across the spectrum.
We have people who have been in the shoes of owners that are looking to buy and sell, and professionals that have executed transactions helping buy and sell companies for decades.
I think when you talk to us, see what our experience is, see what our skills are, see the reach that we have, you'll be very happy with the recommendation.